Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 14, Text 26. Kvachit mithaha vyavaharan yat kinchit dhanam anyebhyah va kakinika matram api apaharan yat kinchit va vidvesham eti vitta शाठ्यात् क्वचिन्मिथो व्यवहरन् यत्किञ्चित् धनमन्येभ्यो वा काकिणिकामात्रमपि अपहरन् यत्किञ्चित् वा विद्वेषमेति वित्तशाठ्यात् क्वचित् sometimes mithaha with one another vyavaharan trading yat kinchit whatever little bit dhanam money anyebhyah from others va or kakinika matram a very small amount 20 cowries. Who knows what is cowries? I don't know. Shell. Oh, so 20 of those shells. Api, certainly. Apaharan, taking away by cheating. Yat kinchit, whatever small amount. Va, or vidvesham creates enmity. Vitta shakhyat, because of cheating. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The oldest man in the world. Translation: as far as transactions with money are concerned, if one person cheats another by a farthing or less, they become enemies. Please repeat. As far as transactions with money are concerned, if one person cheats another by a farthing or less, they become enemies. Purport: this is called samsara davanula. Even in ordinary transactions between two people, there is invariably cheating because the conditioned soul is defective in 4 ways. His illusion is he commits mistakes, his knowledge is imperfect, and he has a propensity to cheat. Unless one is liberated from material conditioning, these 4 defects must be there. Consequently, every man has a cheating propensity which is employed in business or money transactions. Although two friends may be living peacefully together, due to their propensity to cheat, they become enemies when there is a transaction between them. A philosopher accuses an economist of being a cheater, and an economist may accuse a philosopher of being a cheater when he comes in contact with money. In any case, this is the condition of material life. One may profess a high philosophy, but when one is in need of money, he becomes a cheater. In this material world, so-called scientists, philosophers, and economists are nothing but cheaters in one way or another. The scientists are cheaters because they present so many bogus things in the name of science. They propose going to the moon, but actually they end up cheating the entire public of large sums of money for their experiments. They cannot do anything useful. Unless one can find a person transcendental to the four basic defects, one should not accept advice and become a victim of the material condition. The best process is to take the advice and instructions of Sri Krishna or his bona fide representative. In this way, one can be happy in this life and the next. Om Ajnanatimandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yudapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishvansya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sakara Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijanasahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagara Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kancana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So this is example. This is an example of cheating propensity of the conditioned soul. So especially when it comes to money, because money is the gateway to all sense gratification. So to get that sense gratification, one will want to get as much money as possible, and in that process, there will be cheating. Just 2 days back, I was seeing this news where in the United States, in 2023-2024 year, there were weird scientific studies for which millions of dollars were spent. $1 million was for one study, which they were studying if people have sexual relationships, whether they will be happy or not. $1.5 million to study the mating calls of frogs. What is the difference between village frogs, countryside frogs, and city frogs? You know, these are not even joke. This is a real thing. Of course, I think these things sound like money laundering because I don't think they'll actually do anything with that. Yeah, they're also testing if monkeys, $1.5 million. When monkeys are given cocaine, whether they will become more promiscuous or not. Definitely they were taking the cocaine for sure. I mean, so these are real scientific studies, so-called, that were funded. Similarly, they also tested for the virus in Wuhan lab. America funded, China did it. So now it's all out. At that time, oh, that's all conspiracy. Now it's all out in the news. So this is cheating, and you see how much suffering people went through. Disease one thing, but the financial restrictions and the movement restrictions that were imposed were even more painful than the disease itself. So, in this way, cheating is going on in all manners. When I think in the Second World War, when one country was conquering another one, the first thing they did was to capture the media, catch hold of the media, because once you have the media, then you can push your narratives and paint yourself as a good guy. For example, in the bad name, Hitler gets all the bad name as if the others are saints. But actually, comparatively, Hitler is smaller than what Winston Churchill did, what Stalin did, what Mao Zedong did later on. Um, these were much bigger in scale. And now it's decentralized. It's the same thing is going on, but it's decentralized in the sense that there's no big name that, oh, we can point to. There are some, of course, like Anthony Fauci, who's the so-called health chief of America, who did all the COVID nonsense. So there are some names here and there, but vastly, for example, I've always raised this point, abortion. The number of deaths are each day, I mean each year, the number of deaths are as much as in the Second World War, 73 million, um, which is 200,000 a day. And that's exactly how many were killed in Hiroshima and Nagasaki with the atom bomb. That was once in the 20th century, but that many people are being killed every day. It's a nuclear bomb every day. But it goes under the radar because it's not one sensational event, but it's decentralized everywhere, all over the world, just in small measures. Um, it's going on. It's a huge genocide that's going on. But in the name of healthcare. So in this way, there is cheating every time. Uh, cheating is actually more dangerous than upfront harm because, like for example, the nuclear bomb is very easy to see that it is harmful. You can see it's all there is visuals. There are visuals to show the scale, whereas there is no visuals to show the scale of this kind of killing through cheating. Um, so therefore, it's more harmful and it's masked under language which seems to sound like the opposite. Care. How can you say health care when there is no health? Children are being killed, and there is no care for either the child or the mother, because the mother is going to hell and suffer like that, and the child is being killed, and you call it health care. So everywhere this is going on, in all spheres, there is so much cheating going on. And here it is said that is it? What is wrong? Something wrong means echo. Okay. Now we don't have the screen. Let's see. Let me know how the audio is now. Is it echoing? You wouldn't know now? You're hearing, right? It's good. So there was an audio issue. So anyway, cheating is going on. Here, Prabhupada mentioned in the purport, although two friends may be living peacefully together, due to their propensity to cheat, they become enemies when there is a transaction between them. And then a philosopher accuses an economist of being a cheater, and an economist may accuse a philosopher of being a cheater when he comes in contact with money. Because usually philosophers, they're supposed to be aloof from money. And it is true. I mean, personally, they should be aloof from money. They should be minimal in their, bodily necessities. But when it comes to serving Krishna, the devotees engage money. In any case, this is the condition of material life. One may profess a high philosophy, but when one is in need of money, he becomes a cheater. So in this material world, so-called scientists, philosophers, economists are nothing but cheater in one way or another. This is actually true. We should be always aware of this thing, of the cheating, and we should be able to articulate how the cheating is actually happening. Then we will be convinced. If we are just going to say that oh everybody is a cheater, all the materialists are cheaters. Okay, we have heard it, and we may repeat it also through someone else. But if they ask, how are they cheaters? How do you think they are cheating? You see, they are doing technological advancements and you are taking advantage of that. You are chatting on WhatsApp, that is technology, it is working. How can you say it is cheating? Right? So we should know exactly how it is cheating. How this science and technological advancement is cheating. We should know, we should be able to articulate. Otherwise, if we're just going to have that high level argument of it's all cheating, but then if we can't go granular, then our faith will be not solid. So we should question ourselves when we, where this Shastra, we are not supposed to question Shastra, right? That is true. In the sense, we should not challenge Shastra, but we should question Shastra in the sense that in a submissive way. Like Arjuna, when Krishna was speaking to him, Arjuna questioned. When Krishna said, I spoke to the sun god, and he was going on, he was saying that, next, after he said that, I spoke to the sun god, 4th chapter, 1st verse, and then he said, he spoke to his son and his son. And in this way, in Parampara, it is coming, but it was lost, and then now I'm reviving it with you. Then he was going to say, whenever there is yada yada dharmasya, that was the next. After 4.3 was supposed to be 4.7, but there was an interjection by Arjuna saying, wait, how did you speak to sun god? You said, you just did, but he's so much older. So he clarified there. So Krishna, 4.4 was the question, 4.5, 4.6 was the answer. And then he got back to what he was saying. So there should be such questioning. If something is not clear, Arjuna could have accepted, yeah, okay, you spoke to sun god. But how? Why? How did you do it? When did you do it? I know you since, we are the same age. I didn't see you go there. So immediately there was questioning. But that is not to challenge Krishna. Hey, you are saying you went to sun god, you did not go, I saw you. So he did not say in that way. He said, how? How is it that you are saying like this? So like that, we have to question. We should not blindly accept Shastric points. So, for example, recently, Elon Musk, he did that, what is that, the rocket, which came back and was caught, right, SpaceX. People were saying we are in the 22nd century. We are living in the future now. We are catching rockets now, and it's landing back on Earth. Without touching the ground, it's caught. So, and then they have huge plans to go to Mars and colonize. So, our question should be, first of all, You cannot do anything there even if you go there. And forget about the fact that there are civilizations on Mars and Moon and Sun and everything. Every single planet is full of life. That is way beyond their grasp. But just challenge them on their own level. So even if you go there, what are you going to do? And you claim to have gone to the moon and brought back some rocks and sand. And they, you know what they did with that sand? Some of the sand they took and they put seeds inside and see if it germinates. Germinated as normal. Of course, they took it from here on. Why it will not work? So our point is, even if they went there and brought back some stone and sand, how fruitful is such a mission? No, it may not sound like very much, it is, for the future. In the future we will have something there, a base, something like this, they will say. These are, and even after doing that, okay, so say you have a base there and you launch rockets from there now even farther into space. What are you going to achieve? Yes, how is it going to solve the problems of Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi? We should get back to basics when we question these things. How relevant are they in solving our problems of life? If I go to Mars, can I escape death? I should just question, that's all. There is a higher chance of actually dying on the way to Mars somewhere. Instead of just peacefully living on Earth, they're trying to find life on Mars when they're killing so much life on Earth. Why? That's why Krishna actually does not want them to see any life anywhere. You see whatever you are seeing, enough, you're already destroying it. You're not qualified anyway. So this, and they are funded, huge funding. Now in this, apparently the new government of US, they're trying to cut down what? $2 trillion of annual spending from their unnecessary. There are apparently 428 ministries in the US government. Hundreds of them are useless, just some money laundering schemes. That's all they are. And they're going on like that. Bureaucracy, red tape. Everywhere this is, not only just, everywhere this is going on. So we should know, we should always have our focus when we are trying to understand these things and trying to understand how they are wrong. We should not just be carried away by what they say. Oh, this is engineering, marvel. Whoever did this rocket, coming back to land on Earth, you can't deny 9 million lines of code that were successful on the first attempt. Yeah, all that is true. We give them all that credit. We are not saying you did not work hard and it was not an engineering marvel. It was. What is the use? The purpose. Just like toys, there's one saying, when the boy grows from childhood to adulthood, his business of playing with toys does not change, only the toys become bigger. That's all. The same childish mentality, only bigger toys. That's all it is. So, because ultimately there is no solution for the real problems of life. That means you're not serious. If I am playing with toys, a child plays with toys, there's no consequence to that. He's not going to earn money, or he's not going to solve any problem of life. Even let's say a material, whereas the adult is actually working and getting some money and feeding, the family, whatever. His work is having some productive outcome. That is not there in the child's. Of course, they say, no, the brain is being developed by such playing and all this. And develop and do what? Again, another set of childish activities in adulthood. Because ultimately, spiritually, we are sleeping. It's like the child is oblivious to how the world works and how he has to survive in this world. And similarly, the adult is oblivious to the real life, which is a spiritual life. So he is a child compared to, in context of spiritual life. Inconsequential actions which are sure to be destroyed, just like a child makes a sand castle, and then the waves just comes and smashes it down. So in this same way, we are also building sand castles, and one day the tide of time will come and just it's gone. So that we have to bring into focus when we are engaging with these kind of arguments from people. One Apple employee from America, he questioned me because he saw my videos, and then he reached out to me. This was a few years ago, 2-3 years ago, and two Indians actually, but settled in America, really high profile guys in Apple, and one more guy somewhere else. So he was challenging, what is your take on the moon landing and all that. Honestly, at that time, I did not delve into that subject too much. My arguments were not, how to say, I know it was a farce, but I did not know how to articulate it very well. I said what I could, what I knew. But anyway, the argument also went into technology, because I was condemning technology, and he was an Apple. So he said, if you want a phone, I can get you a phone, don't worry. Because he was respectful, but at the same time he was challenging. So, you are using smartphone, we are actually talking from 12 hours apart, and we are talking in real time, and this is all because of technology. How can you say it is? So, of course, I was explaining to him, the thing is, now there is so much technology, yes, but what are people doing with it? So qualified access to technology is what is required. Only qualified people should have access to these things, just like Sanjay had access when he saw the Bhagavad Gita being recited and the whole battlefield of Kurukshetra. Only such a person. Not everybody had that vision, right? So that is a live telecast without any satellites, without any of these huge endeavors. Just by yogic power and by the mercy of Vyasadeva, he could see. So that was qualified access. But now you have access, you have given access to unqualified people. And what they will do? More and more sinful activities will increase with this. Unnecessary communication. Actually, unnecessary communication is going on now. And also, it's very easy to have private communications and have illicit affairs. It's much easier than before. Because if my mind is not purified, the more I have facility, the more I will use it for the same sinful tendencies. So the heart has to become purified first. So that is what is really needed. They said, oh, you can't have live streams, you cannot reach out to so many people if you did not have technology, right? Yes, that's why for Krishna consciousness it is always good. Yes, for everything else it is bad. For everything else it is bad. Prabhupada was explaining one lecture here, Bhagavatam lecture. He said, if the transport systems are becoming better, and therefore now people travel much longer distances to work and come back. And he was saying that even in the 70s, at that time, at his time, people were flying every day to work and going back by flight. I don't see that now even. There are? So you see, flying every day and high speed trains, so that city can expand, so that you can in 20 minutes go much farther distance, so your house can be much farther, or real estate will improve, and all these things. This is how they calculate. But actually the person is suffering because he has to travel such a long distance and is increasingly becoming dependent on such facilities. And if something goes off, and it's very easy to switch down the civilization, because if the energy is off, and then everything will become standstill. And it's easy, to completely, and hacking nowadays, hacking, I mean, defense systems, everything can be hacked because everything is connected by this. So, and previously they used to, as I said in yesterday's classes, they used to have just a field outside their home, and they used to raise their, crops, and then that's it. If they want anything else, they will barter with someone else who had a different crop, and likewise they will have their necessaries and then finish. And it's simple. Now, to get to the food, there are so many layers you have to get the food. You need money. To get money, or to work. To work enough money, you have to search for work, and for that you need education, so-called education, just livelihood. And for that, you have to. So everything, and that education system itself is an industry, and everything is like this. How to say, layers and layers of things to get to actually our basic necessities. So this is a cheating process. The whole industrialization is a cheating process where we are simply not tell him no. So industrialization is a thing where we are being cheated by creating artificial necessities. Artificial necessities just to get those things which will give us the food and shelter. And so these are the cheatings that we need to understand. If we do not, then we will be cheated. First of all, our lifetime is limited here in this human body, and before the end of this lifetime, we need to figure out, not just figure out, I mean, we have to act on it. Figuring out is just in the beginning of life. That's why Kaumara Acharit Prajna, from 5 years old, when our consciousness gets a little, we can understand things, that's the time we have to start the spiritual education. To understand, we have to figure out right in the beginning years of our life, and the rest of life should be spent in actually executing on that knowledge. If you're going to figure out at 70, well, it's better late than never, but it's better earlier than later. Because at that time, we will not have sufficient time to perfect our life and go back to Godhead. Because whatever we think of at the end of life, that determines our future in the next life. And if we have to go back to Vaikuntha, Krishna, then we have to think of Krishna. Otherwise, we have failed. We will have failed this human life completely if we think of anything else. So absolute truth, when we say absolute truth, Krishna is the absolute truth. Anything other than that is cheating, because anything else is a lie. The absolute truth is truth, and everything else is a lie. So the cheating propensity is much, much more ingrained and nuanced than we even realize. For just one example, there are sports, football, cricket, whatever. Actually, it's a cheating thing. There is cheating there. Why? No, if everybody is a good sport, then it's not a cheating. No. The whole establishment is cheating. Why? Because we have to always, that's why, root our understanding in what is the aim of human life. Once we know that aim of human life is to actually become spiritually successful, that means becoming completely Krishna conscious before the end of life, that means we have no time to waste. And these are all time wasting avenues, cheating us, robbing us of our lifetime. So are they not cheating now? They are. Distracting us from the real aim of life, cheating us. Suppose you have invested your money in somewhere, and the guy, whatever, they cheat, like this, who recently. Sam Bankman-Fried, right? Cheated. People invested billions of dollars. He cheated. So is that not how you will feel after that if you have invested there and then all is lost now? Money. What about time? They say time is money. It's not. It's not. Time we cannot get back with money. Money we can get back with time. You can make your money back if you want. But time you cannot make back. So, and we have limited time and sticking. And we are celebrating. Every year, happy birthday, happy anniversary, this, that. What are we happy about? We're getting closer to death. So it's a very happy thing. So we're getting distracted already. There are too many distractions. And these are additional distractions and just not simple distractions. It's highly sophisticated distractions. So much so that, you see how in cricket, the guy bowls a ball, right? And there is an appeal for leg before wicket, for example. Within a second, split second, there is whole graphics, everything showing where and projection where it will go and everything. You see the amount of technology they have, and the direction and the full 3D, 360 degrees. How come you have wasted so much of your time to put so much attention in a useless thing, whereas where you actually need to put your attention in life, zero attention there. So this is the cheating. So much attention, just like a child. He pays so much attention in a useless thing. It's an inconsequential thing. He produces nothing, but he puts his full attention to it. Similarly, we are, as if our distractions, our illusion is not enough, we are creating sophisticated, very tempting distractions, cheating us, robbing us of our lifetime. And that is explained here. Ayur harati vaipumsam udyannastan chayannasau tasyarte yat kshanonita uttama shloka vartaya. Both by rising and by setting, the sun decreases the duration of life of everyone, except one who utilizes the time by discussing topics of the all-good personality of Godhead. How come the person who is discussing Krishna Katha, his time is not being robbed? Because time passes for everyone. But if that time is used for getting our eternal life, see, when we spend something, we have to spend it for something in return. If I spend somewhere, shop, then I get some product in return, right? So our time is being spent anyway. We cannot stop that. So what are we getting in return is what we need to see. When I say don't waste time, it's not that let's stop time. That cannot happen. Time will pass. But where are we spending that time? So if we spend on things which are sure to be destroyed, if I ask you to invest with me, and I'll assure you that after 2 years, nothing will remain, you're not going to get anything back. Please invest. Your principal also will be lost. Please invest with me. You will not. You will not. But that's exactly what life offers. Whatever you have created in this life will be gone for sure. We all know that. Death comes. And still we are amassing wealth. We are, having so many plans here. No, for my future generations. You don't even know who is going to come into your family next. And you don't know where you are going to go. You will have nothing to do with this family after you die. You will go into some totally different family, totally different species even. So we are concerned for unnecessary things, concerned about. So we need to have some focus, first of all. That's why we need to understand this science. So when we are using this time to discuss Krishna Katha, we are getting scientific knowledge of life. And we're getting scientific knowledge of our relationship with God. We are engaged now in false relationships, which is cheating. All the relationships we have in this world are false. They are only bodily. We are not saying, okay, now leave everything and become one sannyas and avadhut. We are not saying that. We are not so impractical. We are not stupid idiots. What we are saying, what Krishna is saying is, while we are here with our family, whatever, Engage everyone, family members, myself, everyone, in the real thing. That is what it means. So we have to increase our attachment for Krishna. Now, some people may think, yeah, that's all fine, but that's too serious. Yeah, I mean, life is too serious. You should have a mix of some entertainment, some all that is already there in our spiritual life. Don't you think Prabhupada has a good sense of humor? He has, and it's very meaningful humor, not some vulgar humor, where just disgusting things. It's real transcendental humor. So if we, and it's not everything is there in Krishna consciousness. Where else is it coming from? Everything that is there in this world, whether it's comedy, whether it's um, seriousness, or whether it's meaningfulness, whatever it is, where is it actually coming from? Our relationships, even of what are the relationships we have? Like we have friends, we have children, we have parents, we have conjugal relationship like husband and wife. So many. So all these relationships, where are they coming from? Where is the origin? The origin of all these things is God. So actually our real relationship is with God. So we have to nurture that relationship, which will be everlasting, which will not be destroyed even after the destruction of this body. Whereas every other relationship here is just a reflection of the original relationship with Krishna. So therefore, while we are here, we should increase our relationship with Krishna. Understand actually who we are, what is our relationship with Krishna. Then that is actually proper utilization of time and the propagation of such mission where there is an endeavor to spread this knowledge, share this knowledge with more and more people. That preaching mission should be supported by our money. Then our money will not become a cause for cheating. It will not, otherwise it is waste. But if we give to Krishna, dharma samsthapanarthaya, I think here 1535 if I'm not wrong. Yeah. Yadatra kriyate karma bhagavat paritoshanam jnanam yattad adhinam hi bhakti yoga samanvitam. Whatever work is done here in this life for the satisfaction of the mission of the Lord is called bhakti yoga, or transcendental loving service to the Lord, and what is called knowledge becomes a concomitant factor. So whatever work is done here in this life for the satisfaction of the mission, what is the mission of the Lord? Dharma samsthapanarthaya. That is the mission of the Lord in the Bhagavad Gita. So dharma samsthapana is the mission of the Lord. And what is that dharma samsthapana? Starts with hearing and chanting. This philosophy, this temple, where you can actually come and serve and associate with devotees. So this needs to be supported. It is not condemned to earning money is not condemned. But earning money and keeping it for oneself is condemned. One should be liberally giving it to Krishna consciousness movement. And the people who are in the movement, they should not be cheaters, taking the money and enjoying themselves. No. They should use everything for Krishna, nothing for themselves. They should be slaves in the temple. And everything is for Krishna's satisfaction. In that mode, everything will become perfect. Otherwise, money, even close relatives, family members will become bitter enemies over even a small coin. I think that is also stated, right? Huh? What is that? Yeah. 11:23:20. भिद्यन्ते भ्रातरोदाराः पितरः सुहृदस्तथा एका स्निग्धाः काकिनिना sadyah sarverayah kritaah. Here also kakinina matram, today's verses. Even a man's brothers, wife, parents and friends united with him in love will immediately break off their affectionate relationships and become enemies over a single coin. This is the nature of money. That's why the previous verses 18, 19, you see this? Teyam himsanritam dambha kamah krodha smayo madha bhedo vairam avishwasah samspardha vyasanani cha ete panchadashanartha hi arthamula mata nirnam tasmad anartham arthakyam shreyorthi duratastyajet. Artha word is so many times used here in this verse, in these two verses. You see, theft, violence, speaking lies, duplicity, lust, anger, perplexity, pride, quarreling, enmity, faithlessness, envy, and the dangers caused by women, gambling, and intoxication are the 15 undesirable qualities that contaminate men because of greed for wealth. Although these qualities are undesirable, men falsely ascribe value to them. One desiring to achieve the real benefit of life should therefore remain aloof from undesirable material wealth. You know what is cheating? Forbes 30 list, Forbes 100 list. Oh, the most successful people in the world, those who have money. That's cheating. They are not successful. They are one of the most miserable people in the world. 100 of the most miserable people. So, wealth is not a measure of success. We are taught this all our lives from young, that wealth is the measure of success. Fame is the measure of success. It is not. You can ask the wealthiest and most famous people whether they're actually happy. No one can be happy without Krishna consciousness. No one. That conviction should be strong. Unless that is strong, we will always hanker after these things. We should understand that this is way higher than wealth. It's incomparable compared to wealth. So this we can have only when we associate with devotees who are actually living like that. Then only can we develop that vairagya. Unnecessary attachment to wealth, we need to get off that. If we are interested in our own good. Otherwise, yeah, we can do whatever we want. So, any questions or comments on this topic? Actually, there's one verse, 4:22:33, is that? Yeah. Arthendriyarthabhidhyanam sarvarthapahnavo nirnam भ्रंशितो ज्ञान विज्ञानाद येना विशति मुख्यताम. For human society, constantly thinking of how to earn money and apply it for sense gratification brings about the destruction of everyone's interests. When one becomes devoid of knowledge and devotional service, he enters into species of life like those of trees and stones. Is it not the opposite we are taught? Oh, if we earn money and if we can give jobs to others and if they can earn money, everyone's interests will be served. But here it is said, it brings about the destruction of everyone's interests. We are not saying that money is not necessary. No, as much as is necessary, that much only, that's all. Because not if I'm billionaire, I'll sleep on a huge bed the size of Singapore. No. I'll sleep on the same size bed. Nothing is going to change. I can eat only the same amount of food. I may have a palace, but I can only occupy that much space. So why do I need all that, the rest of it? It's just some mental concoction that, oh, this means some status, something. We just created these things in our mind. That's all. It's not a necessity. It's stupidity. But to maintain all of that, we work so hard. So in this way, we have to understand. We have to see things properly. That's why we have to read Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. They will always remind us and put things back into perspective, because after this 1 hour, we're going to go out and forget everything, and the Maya is so glaring. We pass by, maybe we're going in a taxi or on the bus, and we pass by some nice bungalow. Oh wow, that's so nice. I wish I have one. We should buy this thing there, that thing. We will start planning already. So Maya is like, hitting at us every moment. So this is our antidote. And out of 24 hours, if we just spend 1 or 2 hours, 1 hour class, 1 hour maybe reading, that will keep us immune. It's so powerful that it can keep us immune throughout the day. And accumulated every day, if we do that, then our faith, and if we associate with devotees and take up the whole process of chanting and everything, we become more and more stronger and stronger, and then we will start to disassociate ourselves from that contaminated association that is there outside. It is very contaminating there, because it will make you forget this whole focus. Oh, Krishna is, yeah, once in a while I'll go there, to the temple, bow down, and then go back. It's just like a civilization used to be the opposite of this. The main focus is God, second focus is family, third focus is work to maintain the family, and so that we can spend all our time with God consciousness and increasing our knowledge about this and applying it in our life. Now, there is hardly any time for. So, work is first. Most of our waking hours are there. Family second. God is last. If we have time, if I feel like once a year, Janmashtami, I will go. That's it. God is it. And then we want God to attend to our request whenever we want, on demand. Oh, I want this, please give me. God is such a fool or what? No. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam tathaiva bhajamiham. Krishna says, as much as you surrender to me, that much I will reward. You surrender nothing and then you want me to reward 100%. I'm not going to do that. Krishna is not fool, no. See, he's already giving whatever we have. Even though we are completely absorbed in material life, he's giving us the intelligence to even function there. If one nerve snaps in the brain, we are paralyzed and we cannot function. Even our material life cannot go on. He can do that if he wants, but he did not. He's not doing it to the majority of us. And that's his mercy. He's already showing his mercy even though we're completely uninterested in him. And still we want more. We want demands more. We're not happy with what he's giving already. No, we want to ask more. And then we will come and then we will want some reciprocation from the Lord. And if something does not happen, I don't believe in God anymore. My father was passing away and I was praying and then he still passed away. And then what is this? If God is there, how can this happen? You did not understand. You did not read the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the first instructions of Bhagavad Gita, what is going to happen, what is life, what is death. Why Krishna has to come and intervene? He's already planned. Therefore, the saying is that people go to God to change their situations, not understanding that God put them in the situation to change them. God only put you in a situation to change you. I have to change, not the situation have to change. Oh, I will remain the same rascal. Let the situation change so that everything becomes, favorable to me, favorable to who I am at this point. So that's not going to work. We have to change. Yeah. So, stop it here. What question?
All become enemy because of a single point. How close relatives, family members, or anyone who is closely associated, how they can turn into knowledge.
Friends.
How favorable when they become favorable.
When they will become favorable. That depends. How is your karma? Some people have favorable family members, some don't. You are just given that situation. You did not choose, right? You see, what happens when we come into a family, we are born into a family. We did not choose our parents. We did not choose our brothers or sisters. So all an extended family, we did not choose all of that. And everyone has their own combinations of sattvagun, rajagun, tamogun, and accordingly, people have different likings, different dislikings, and as we grow in life, we tend to congregate with those people who are of the same likings and same interests, and not so much with the family. If the family incidentally have the same interests, maybe. But if not, they may divide. They may go on their own paths and it'll become just maybe acquaintances or even maybe enemies, our own family members. So it depends on everyone's karma. How to make them happy? Well, that's not actually we should not be even concerned about that. We should just do our duty as much as is necessary. But what we should be concerned is to revive our real family relationship with Krishna. That we have gone astray. Krishna says, Sarva yonishu kaunteya aham bija pradah pita. Of all species, I am the father. So he's our real father. We have gone away from him like a completely ungrateful son or daughter. We have gone away from him, and that's why we're in this material world. Krishna is still, sometimes the rich father's son, he may go out on the streets thinking that I don't care for my father, I'll live my own life, I can do it. I'm a man of my own words or whatever stupid dialogue he will say, and then go out. And then he will try, and one day he will end up on the streets begging. So the father has not forgotten. He will try to help. So similarly, we are supposed to be in Vaikuntha. Why are we even here? This is not our place. We came here. Not that, oh, God put us here. Of course, God has to put us here. But He did not put us willingly. He put us here unwillingly. We asked for it. Just like the government puts the people in the prison, not willingly. They don't want criminals. Why? Very productive ministry, is it? Prison department. It's not. You have to feed a rascal there. All bunch of rascals you have to feed there. Why you have to have a huge establishment for feeding rascals? Everyone else have to work hard for their thing. These rascals are eating and, put some punishment, time pass, beat him and then give him food. And is there a department that is very productive department for government? It's not. So, but it is there because some idiots will be there who have to put there. What we put there. So similarly, this material world was created for idiots like us, rascals like us. So we came here of our own accord because we wanted to experiment being the Lord. And it's okay, you come, you go there. Krishna gave us the facility also to become the Lord. In fact, it is said that when we come into this material world, we start off as Brahma, the topmost controller in the universe. Okay, you become God in this sphere. And we fell, slippery slope, we fell all the way until the worm in the stool. Cannot come out from that. So this is our life story. So we have been the most ungrateful people in this family of Krishna. So we should be concerned about that. Going back, this family, incidental. Whatever happens, happens. Sometimes favorable, sometimes not. We should not be too concerned. We cannot please the world. We cannot. We should please Krishna. Well, whether the world is pleased or not, it doesn't matter. Hanuman did not go to Ravan and try to please him. No. He wanted to please Ram. If Ravan is not pleased, so be it. Burn the whole Lanka. Never mind. So, like that. We should do what is right. That's it. What is right with our family members? Guide them in Krishna consciousness. If they take to it, good for them. If they don't, well, there's always a next time. Countless number of lives. You can always try again. So we should try our best to give them Krishna consciousness. That's it. Any other questions or comments? Yes.
Just to extend we see that they try to the common goal of company in the profits. Similarly, in our life, if we can align the whole family, all family with the source Krishna consciousness, then there will be no conflicts because there is no between the two people there is no conflict. They are all aligned in that sense. So that will be a very happy family.
Yes, true. Only that sometimes they don't cooperate.
Yeah.
You want the son to become a devotee, he doesn't want. Sometimes the son wants the father to become a devotee, he doesn't want. Sometimes the husband wants the wife to become a devotee, she doesn't want. Wife wants the husband, he doesn't want. It's very rare that actually everyone can be aligned and be following. Sometimes the child may follow until he gets a little freedom. After that, he's gone. He finds his own friend circle and gone. So, what to speak? Even great acharyas' lives, to see their family members. Of course, by being born in that, being in the family, they go back to Godhead because of his presence there. But if you see, Prabhupada, his wife and children were not interested. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, his father is Bhaktivinoda Thakur, but his brother Lalit Prasad, against, he's devotee, but he wanted to become guru in his own right, and they had always at loggerheads with each other, Bhaktisiddhanta and his brother. Of course, he had many children, others were not so prominent, but Bhaktisiddhanta and Lalit Prasad were very prominent. Among them, Bhaktisiddhanta was more. And Lalit Prasad used to always do politics. They were always at loggerheads, cannot get along. So, these things will happen everywhere. Prabhupada said, I left my family, I took sannyas. Now I have a family which I cannot explain, so big, because he had now so many disciples, and then all of them are like, family. So that is real family. That's why as he said, devotees are the real family. What is that verse? $11:30. Yeah. 11:26-34 of Srimad Bhagavatam. Santo dishanti chakshumsi bahirarkah samuttitah devata bandhavaah santah santa atmahameva cha. My devotees bestow divine eyes, whereas the sun allows only external sight, and that only when it is risen in the sky. My devotees are one's real worshipable deities and real family. They are one's own self, and ultimately they are non-different from me. So this is what we have to do. We have to align ourselves with the real family, the devotees. Why is real family? Because Krishna is our real father, and they actually understand that. And therefore, they are the real original spiritual family. If our material family members can also become devotees and also be aligned, well and good. That's a part of the whole spiritual family. But otherwise, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, the same. How will it become Kutumba? Whole world as one family. How? Only if Krishna is. Yeah, that's why Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, these has to be understood by world leaders. Otherwise, these United Nations are going to do nothing. It's there. United Nations is there. The world is divided. That's all. It's fighting. See, it will be useless endeavor unless they take to Bhagavad Gita. That's the only way it can come. Alright, so I'll stop it here. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande.